It's 4 wins in a row for Michigan State. It's been 4 losses in a row for Oregon on the basketball court. Is anything going to change here, though?
You are Locked On College Crossover, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Today's Locked On Crossover is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Spartan friends, Spartan family. Also, shout out to Duck Nation over there. That's right, guys. It is a Locked On Crossover episode. It's Matt Sheehan of Locked On Spartans over here, and the guy that's shooting 2 thumbs up despite the basketball season. That's Spencer McLaughlin. Hey, Spencer, how you doing, man? You doing okay? Is that a good question?
Big Seahawks guy over here.
Okay, so you're doing okay.
Big Seahawks guy over here. Yeah, nothing else. By the way, when you said 4 straight losses, I felt like Ant-Man in Captain America Civil War when he snaps out of it and he's being introduced out of the van. You go, what time zone is this? Only 4 losses in a row. Oh, my goodness. Can't believe it. Feels like more than that.
Okay, look, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or trying to get under anyone's skin, but that's
You won't. Nothing can hurt us, Matt.
Okay.
There's nothing you could do or say that would hurt us now.
Because I was just going to factually say 8-10 overall, 1-6 in Big Ten play. Jackson Shelstad, who absolutely dotted Michigan State last year when the game was at Breslin, out for the season. Nate Bittle out at least a month. Is there reason to smile about anything, Spencer, on the basketball court for your Ducks? Football, you guys are Gucci. Like, that goes without saying. But for this basketball game that we're about to see Tuesday night, and I know I'm setting myself up for a world-class Locked On Spartans jinx right now, but in the here and now...
You're not. You're
that
not
bad? Is it that
you're
bad?
Not. I mean, that's actually an interesting question that I haven't specifically answered before because I haven't been asked that exact question.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm trying to think of what there is to feel good about. The guys are not quitting. That's not me being sarcastic or just saying a generic mantra. They were 18.5-point home dogs to Michigan, and they were up at the half. It was a competitive 40-minute game. Michigan eventually pulled away at the end because it turns out you can't have an offense of – I mean, Sean Stewart had a career day. I think he had 20 points. And KJ Evans is not going to get his own shot, needs someone else to play make for him, which really puts the onus on Wei Lin, who's getting up to speed in the college basketball game but still has some up and down moments. And Takai Simpkins – who is a turnover machine, and he's a great scorer, and I love TK Simpkins, but he's not a dynamite pick and roll player, and that's who KJ Evans that are a passing big is going to thrive with the most. He's a slasher more than a slasher or a roller more than a straight post up guy or someone you run the offense through. So yeah, I mean that's the upside is they've gone through this horrible stretch. This is going to wind up being the worst season in Dana Altman's tenure. That includes his first. In his first, they went 20-13, I think, and won the CBI.
Gotcha.
I mean, coming off 2 pretty down years at the end of the Ernie Kent era in the Pac-10, it was RIP, and then RIP again, Pac-12. But that was I know that was a pretty down time. But he came in immediately, gave it juice, and it's been tournament or bust every single year. And there hasn't been even great coaches will have ebbs and flows. Dana Altman hasn't flowed down like this. Hasn't had a valley that's as low as what they're about to have, and it's all going to set the stage for an interesting offseason conversation.
I did want to pull out one good thing here that's going for Oregon at least, or maybe it isn't anymore. You could be the judge of this, but I saw that you guys really high percentage in offensive rebounding, and this is something that's Michigan State's calling card here is being one of the best rebounding teams, maybe not even in the conference. How about the whole nation right now? But Spencer, is this because Nate Bittle was also doing a lot of the work on the glass? Or even with his absence, is there still a rebounding threat or 2, or maybe even 3 on the Ducks that can make this a little hairy here for my Spartans?
No, it's not an accident that Oregon ranks really high in that department. KJ Evans is one of the best rebounders Oregon has ever had.
Okay.
I would put his rebounding prowess up there with N'Faly Dante, with...
Sure.
Heck, I'd probably take him as a rebounder. I'd probably take him over Jordan Bell. He's really, really good. He's big, he's athletic, he's strong. But there's a little. I'm a Trailblazers fan as well, as I'm sure many Oregon fans listening or watching out there are. I love Donovan Clingan. I love watching him play basketball. I wanted the Blazers to draft him the year that he was taken. I have been happy with it. I continue to be happy with it. When you watch great rebounders, they're not just what? Did you hate my point that much that you're throwing me off the screen?
My laptop just spazzed out and just exited right off you. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness!
Here we are talking about the one shining thing for Oregon.
Yeah, the one thing that Oregon could do. Anyway, with Clingan, what I love watching and appreciating, I think Evans does this as well. Great rebounders aren't just big, physical, strong. They read and anticipate where the ball is coming off, and that's a skill. Certainly. And KJ Evans has that. Sean Stewart is he's probably the most athletic player on the court. Anytime he steps on the court, the skill component showed strides against Michigan, but is very hit and miss. But yeah, it's the strength of this Oregon team. They will rebound. I mean, you got Devon Pryor and Des Lindsey, who, if either one of them gives you 10 points, you feel like you've hit the lottery on offense. But if either one of them gives you 3 to 4 offensive rebounds in a game, it's kind of standard operating procedure for those guys. They are big athletic wings, and they've got big athletic guys in the front court. And yes, not having Bittle absolutely hurts, especially for the back tap offensive rebounds. But you still got Stewart and Evans, and then Ige Demir is, again, not very skilled, but will work hard on the glass. So, yeah, I think if Oregon is going to pull an upset here, then it's going to be on the heels of creating second chances for the offense.
How about the guard position here? Because obviously Shelstad being out, that's gonna have some repercussions on the offensive end. But I also gotta ask it from the opposite end too, the defense that he can provide, because our guy Jeremy Fears, coming off of arguably his best 2 games of his career. Now, arguably he's had some other good ones, but man, against Washington took over the second half, against Indiana took over the first half. Who's marking Jeremy Fears? Are you confident with anyone off the bench, or does it just fall off a cliff right after Shelstad?
No, that's one of the biggest problems with this team. The flaw in the construction of this roster, of which there were several. I think the biggest one was the guard situation. They expected more from Wei Lin, is what I've suspected for a while, and he's starting to come around. He really is, and looks like he can be a capable backup point guard in college basketball. For the first month and a half, probably 2 really, of the season, Matt, he was borderline unplayable. And so you were leaning on Shelstad to be that guy. So, and they don't have a third guard there either. And I have been saying this for the last 2 years talking Oregon basketball. He wasn't the best, but he was arguably the most important. Every time Oregon has missed Keyshawn Bartholomew, they have gotten so much worse. Just a play, and they didn't replace him in an adequate way in the offseason. And it was something I called for. I said, they've got to find a guy who can come off the bench, start in a pinch, play make, give you points off the bench, and just be efficient and a solid passer. They didn't do a good enough job of that as a coaching staff. So the guard depth was already pretty poor, because you go from Shelstad to Lin, who's really, on a good team, Wei Lin is point guard 3. Well, he's point guard 1 on Tuesday night, and he was point guard 2 for this Oregon team. And Shelstad missed the first couple games, played, looked like Jackson Shelstad for the most part, and now he's hurt out for the season, and it's all just a giant bummer. So, yeah, the guard play, this team can turn the ball over a lot. They've gotten better at it, but they will turn it over a lot. They don't create as many assists as they should. They're at their best when they move it well offensively, but yeah, they miss a true point guard.
So take Wei Lin overs then, if the Lockdown Spartans jinx holds any water right now, after talking about how, there's a little bit of a drop off. Yeah, he's set to go nuclear. I could just see it as
go watch the Rutgers game. Go watch the Rutgers game. He had, I think, 6 threes in that game.
Yeah.
Went absolutely crazy, and that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to get the replay of that one. The Rutgers game was tough. Look, we don't have to focus solely on the bad going on with Oregon. Let's talk about Michigan State here for a little bit. But first, let's talk everyone's ears off about Game Time, the greatest ticketing app out there. Because Spencer, let's say some Ducks. They want to see Wei Lin shock the world.
Yes.
That's right over there in Eugene. Well, you might say to yourself, it certainly must be too late to save on tickets. I mean, No one can save tickets the day of or an hour before the game.
Of course you can, Matt. What are you saying?
See, because he knows ball. He knows game time. That's why Spencer is saying that, because they're last.
Used it to go to an Oregon basketball game earlier this year.
Hey now, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Used it
back when there was hope.
Summer. Come on, no, an upbeat ad read. Come on, hey,
upbeat.
We also bought Tigers tickets a lot, especially late in the season when they were losing every games off game time. So, if you want to see happy times, sad times, who knows what kind of time you're going to get, because that's sports, baby. Go ahead, at least save yourself some money over at Game Time. Their flash deals, last-minute ticket deals, whatever it is, guys, they have ways to save you money.
Wait, you use Game Time to go to Detroit Tigers games?
Yes.
Did you go to Game 5 of the ALDS?
Okay, just going to keep on with the ad read here.
Yeah.
Create an account. Use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, let's go Locked On College for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today.
Tommy Canley, my hero.
Just nothing.
Was my mic
nothing
on?
was more inevitable than when he walked onto the mound.
Oh, man. Polo,
Anyway.
my legend. Sit and change up all the way.
Speaking of change up, do you have any questions for Michigan State? That was a decent segue, I'll say. That's
I wasn't bad. That was
B-minus.
not bad at all.
No, I've had worse.
Last year, when Oregon was actually good, which they were, had their best regular season in 8 years. Mm-hmm. Or hold on, wait, 7 or 8 years, and they went to East Lansing, and if I remember correctly, I walked away going, "Oh, Oregon's not as good as that basketball team," and that's a testament to what Michigan State was. So for the Spartans this year, they're actually, the folks in Ann Arbor could have a field day with this stat. They are favored against the Ducks on Oregon's home court at Matthew Knight Arena, which actually had a surprisingly good crowd for the Michigan game. Mm-hmm. Michigan State is favored by almost 10 points fewer than Michigan State is. And if that isn't an own the Spartans moment, I don't know what is. So what are the similarities and differences between this Michigan State team and last year's Michigan State team since the Ducks last saw them?
Similarities. You could pop in DVDs or even VHS tapings of Michigan State basketball under Tom Izzo. It's just the DNA that he's laid out for 2+ decades. Defend, rebound, run. Now, we had a little bit of a lull after COVID. We had a 3-year blip where things weren't so great. But last year was the renaissance, returning to all that. Spearing this head of the snake is the defense, and it's been no different this season. They've had 7 Big Ten games. 6 of them they've kept their opponent to under 70 points. Not too shabby. Next up, rebounding. I think over the last 2 years combined, MSU's only been out-rebounded. I believe it's 3 times. It could be 4. But, man, do they take care of business on the glass. Now, the running, it comes and goes with every game, depending on the opposing playing style. But they still can obviously get out in transition. But the difference is, and this is what the Ducks fans found out last year, and even some Michigan State fans last year, too, because it was the Jace Richardson coming out party in that second half of that game. So
I remember that.
He unfortunately played too good, Spencer, and then he wouldn't stop playing so good because he eventually landed himself in the NBA draft, which he accepted with a smile on his face, as he should have. But boy, is that a bummer of a player to be missing out. But there's no one that has replaced him necessarily, especially at that 2-guard position, but other guys around him have raised their games. Jeremy Fears in his 3rd year, Jackson Kohler in his 4th year, Carson Cooper in his 4th year, and in a day and age, and this is what, Izzo likes to rail on, in a day and age where kids just always bebop around and just go to the next school once things get a little tough at one place. Like, no, unlike that, he showed that you can actually grow, develop, and become a really solid player here, whether it's your junior, senior year, and it's working out here for Michigan State. So a little bit of the same, but with a little bit of a flare of difference with Kohler, Cooper, and Fears being that 3-headed monster right there.
Yeah, Jace Richardson, by the way, 12 minutes a game, 6 points per with the Magic, 42% from deep. That's pretty good.
God, that's unbelievable. I thought that was unsustainable what he was doing last year from 3, but apparently incredibly sustainable.
Apparently he's just really good. I have all the confidence in the world Michigan State is going to win this game. They are the better team. I won't be surprised if, like in the Michigan game, Dana Altman finds a way to hang around for a while because, for all the flaws and criticism that's warranted about the makeup of this roster and how they just really failed to capitalize on what was their best season in quite a while a year ago. You know, when they made the tournament the year before, I think a lot of the national conversations, well, he's made the tournament 2 years in a row, 2 straight NCAA tournament wins. Yes, 100%. That's all factually accurate and valid to bring up. But the year before, they actually weren't getting in. They had lost a bunch of games to lower tier Pac-12 teams, RIP, and then they got hot and won the Pac-12 tournament to get an auto bid. They were not going to get in otherwise because they'd had some bad losses. Then they used that to snowball the momentum into a great offseason, bringing guys back, and you go and you're, you know, a couple of better minutes of basketball late in the game from going to the Sweet 16. And yeah, maybe you do lose to Duke, but Oregon hasn't been there since the 2021 tournament, the first one post-COVID. So it's been a little while, not since they've won a tournament game, since they've been there. So I bring that up to say I wanted to pick your brain because I think Oregon fans are really interested in hearing this particular discussion because it's the discussion. You mentioned that there was a lull there for Tom Izzo. What was it like? What were the records? How did it feel? And were there folks calling for his job? Because the primary discussion around Dana Altman right now is, should he be Oregon's coach next season?
I mean, there's always a faction calling for someone's job, right? No matter how good you are. But it certainly got to not just whispers.
A lot of folks calling for Todd Golden's job after he won the national championship last year. People calling for Kelvin Sampson's job at Houston.
Look, I mean, hey, it's a small minority. It is always just a mainstay. Okay, well, hey, when you don't win a national title in quite some time, there are some people that just aren't satisfied. And look, largely people are here in East Lansing. But in that 3-year stretch from post-COVID to last year, the loud minority got at least a little bigger slice of the pie here. It's like, all right, we need to move on to the next thing. Now, I will say, I still think 90% of Michigan State fans, even at the worst, still want a Tom Izzo around. But he just got guys that reestablished the culture here. I mean, not to throw past players under the bus and say, oh, they just didn't have the winning culture or they were soft or anything, but it took guys like Jeremy Fears who would do anything to win here. Guys that are incredibly driven like Jackson Kohler to redefine the culture at Michigan State. I mean, so I really think that it's part coach, part player. I don't know if that's a thing going on with Oregon right now where it just seems like the culture inside the locker room is just a little laissez-faire, but it certainly seemed like they locked back in once they got this right class in here that, you know, said, okay, we're going to redefine what the culture is. We're going to redefine what the identity is here at East Lansing. And everyone just bought it entirely. And I swear I give a lot of credit to last year's team because for most of the season, it wasn't the Jace Richardson show. It was patchwork every single game, who was going to be the star. But they were selfless, and they knew that we're going to win this thing by defending and rebounding. And that's where it all came back together for Michigan State here.
But by the way, oh ye of first world fan problems over there. Am I getting incorrect information here, or were these post-COVID down years not ones that included an appearance in the NCAA first four, an appearance in the NCAA second round, that's winning an NCAA tournament game, and an appearance in the Sweet 16, and then an appearance in the second round again, and then an Elite Eight run a season ago.
That's all correct.
So those were the down years that you referred to.
That precisely, yes.
Okay, so making the NCAA tournament. By the way, is the second round is seen as winning a game?
Yeah, I think they switched it. Yeah, I think they used to refer
that
to
terminology is not clear in any way, shape, or form.
Kept it clean and concise and understandable for everyone, no matter the era. So first round is the round of 64. First four is the play-in games Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the second round is the round of 32. So Oregon has been to the second round 2 years in a row. But I'll wrap with this because I'm curious as to others' input that are heavy into the basketball content space. Do you think it's reasonable to say Dana Altman should have at least a warming seat? And remember, no Bittle for a month, no Shelstad probably the rest of the year. Right.
Things were going south well before that. They have also both been in and out of the lineup this year, and those are your two best players.
Yeah.
I've just wondered how much cushion that gives Dana Altman with being the best coach in the history of the program. I wonder how much cushion that gives you with the administration.
It is the fact that even before Shelstad and Bittle have gone out, that it wasn't the greatest start to the season necessarily.
No, it was bad. It was bad.
So, how old is he? How old is he?
Dana Altman, 67.
Yeah. I think the seat just has to be warm here then. Or, you know what? I don't think you fire him in this offseason, obviously, but I think it's understood, like, hey, we're getting back to the tournament, or it's going to be, hey, a forced retirement for you. Go enjoy a lake house over wherever you guys have lake houses over there. Enjoy your retirement.
Cannon Beach.
Go play 18 at Bandon Dunes or something like that. Do whatever makes you happy in retirement, young man. But, yeah, we're moving on to the next chapter here. If something like this goes on for the second year in a row, which I kind of just seem a little short leash-ish, but hey, that's the day and age of sports, baby. That's what happens.
Yeah. By the way, going into that 23-24 season where they won the Pac-12 tournament, I had said, because they missed the tournament each of the 2 years prior, and that was coming off a run of, they would have made it during the COVID tournament that was canceled. He'd made the NCAA tournament 3 straight years, and every year but one since his second season. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll call it 7, 8. It was 8 NCAA tournament appearances, about a 10-year span. So I said going into that year, it's make the tournament or you got to, if like 3 straight years, no tournament, can't do it. But then he did it. And then it got better, but now the step back is so staggeringly big.
Yeah,
I just wonder. I really wonder, and I'll just put a bow on it with this because I got to run.
Sure.
A win over top 15 Michigan State would with this roster missing its 2 best players would probably instill a lot of confidence.
He's here till 2031 if that happens, so that's right.
Could be.
No matter what, someone is winning here, and it could be an extension for, or at least a cool down seat for one day.
It would cool things off, but I think that's kind of where we're at. Is every game is, are we seeing enough, or without the 2 best guys, can we even assess that? But yeah, anyway, I have to go like right now.
Hey, you're the best, Spencer.
We're recording this.
We'll see you later, guys. That's Spencer McLaughlin, Locked On Ducks on
Bye, Spartans fans. Good to talk to you all. Thanks for Derek Harmon. That was great.
See you. Hey, I'm glad it all worked out for you over there, Spencer.
Yeah, it really did. Fun. It really.
How nice is all that? Yeah, don't
really did. Best of luck. We'll talk football some other time. Go Mariners.
Okay, fine.
Okay, bye now.
Go Mariners. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.